Picture this in your mind. You're in a quiet space, almost serene. The only sound is this incredibly subtle hum, and then you see it, a robotic arm, gleaming and precise, moving with a fluidity you just wouldn't expect from a machine. It's not welding or assembling anything mechanical. It's actually carving, delicately shaping what appears to be a human form from a solid block of marble. It's like watching a ghost sculptor at work. This isn't some futuristic fantasy. This is happening right now thanks to Monumental Labs and a video they just released that's got everyone in the art world talking.
It truly blurs the lines, doesn't it? This intersection of art, something so fundamentally human with the precision of technology. When I first watched that footage, what struck me most was the sheer grace of the robot's movements. It's not the clunky industrial feel we often associate with automation. It's something, well, different.
Exactly. That's what immediately grabbed my attention too. So for this deep dive, we're going to explore this groundbreaking development together with you. Uh, could these incredible machines become the next artistic masters? How does this technology even work its magic? And what does this all mean for the human artists who've dedicated their lives to mastering these crafts? We've looked into some fascinating material to understand this better, so let's dive into this robotic revolution in sculpture.
Okay, let's start by looking at the core of what Monumental Labs has actually shown us. As you described, the video clearly shows a robotic arm engaged in what's called subtractive sculpture. It starts with a solid piece of material. We're seeing possibilities like marble, stone, even perhaps a specially engineered composite. And then bit by bit, layer by painstaking layer, the robot removes material to reveal the final sculpted form. What's particularly impressive is the apparent sensitivity involved. This isn't just about crudely hacking away at a block. You can see it working on incredibly fine details, which suggest a level of control and nuance that hasn't really been seen before in automated sculpting. What's truly remarkable here is how it moves beyond pre-programmed actions to a form of autonomous refinement based on the material itself, almost a kind of digital intuition taking shape in the physical world.
Right, it's not just power, it's precision. And what's fascinating, based on what we've gathered, is the combination of technologies making this happen. It seems to be a really innovative blend.
Yeah.
First, there's the AI at the heart of it. This isn't just a robot blindly following instructions. It uses advanced computer vision and machine learning to actually interpret and understand a 3D model or digital design. You could almost think of it as the robot reading the artistic intention behind the digital blueprint. So for you, this means the robot has a sophisticated understanding of the desired outcome.
That's a critical point in understanding this, yeah. The AI acts as the translator, taking that abstract digital information and turning it into a real physical process. And it's not just a one-way flow of information. The second crucial element, the high-precision robotic arm, is equipped with these amazing force feedback sensors.
Oh yeah, the sensors.
What's so interesting for you to consider is that these sensors allow the robot to essentially feel the resistance of the material it's working with. This constant feedback loop allows it to adjust the amount of pressure it's applying in real time, preventing any accidental chipping or damage to the sculpture. It's almost as if it has a sense of touch, a digital sensitivity.
It's like having an incredibly skilled apprentice who never tires and can make minute adjustments in an instant. And we're even hearing whispers about the potential use of laser or water jet cutting for those incredibly delicate, almost impossible to achieve details.
Yeah,
Just imagine the level of intricacy that could unlock for artists.
exactly. And the third key aspect for you to appreciate is the adaptability of the system to different materials. Traditionally, a sculptor working with, say, marble needs a completely different set of tools and techniques compared to someone working with wood or metal.
Totally different skill set.
Right.
This robotic system, however, seems capable of handling a variety of materials: marble, wood, metal, even synthetic compounds, with what's described as minimal adjustments. For you, this means a significant leap in terms of versatility and efficiency in the creation process.
Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, haven't we seen robots doing some kind of sculpting before? And that's a fair question. We've looked into some earlier examples, like the RoboChisel from back in 2016, which was used for carving foam, and industrial CNC machines that have been used for large-scale stone cutting for quite some time. So what makes Monumental Labs' work a real step forward for you?
That's the crucial distinction, yeah, for you to understand. While those earlier technologies certainly involved robotic arms and carving, they often lack the artistic finesse we're seeing now. The robo-chisel was primarily intended for prototyping in a relatively soft material. Industrial CNC machines, while powerful for large-scale material removal, tend to be more focused on mass production than on achieving delicate artistic forms.
More brute force, less touch. Exactly. What's so significant here is that Monumental Labs appears to have achieved a level of refinement that truly bridges that gap. They've taken the inherent precision of automation and infused it with something that more closely resembles the dexterity and sensitivity of a human artist. That's the major advancement that sets this apart for you.
Okay, so we have this incredibly sophisticated technology, but what kind of impact could this have on the art world as you know it? One of the immediate possibilities that comes to mind is the potential for a real democratization of sculpture. For someone like you, who might appreciate sculpted art but doesn't have years of training or access to specialized and often very expensive tools, could this technology change how you access and even commission art?
It's a really compelling idea for you to consider. If robotic sculptors can produce high-quality, even customized pieces more efficiently, it could indeed lower some of the traditional barriers to entry in the art market. Think about it. You might be able to commission a unique sculpture designed digitally and have it brought to life by a robot without necessarily needing to find a renowned master sculptor and pay a significant premium for their time and expertise. This could potentially make uniquely crafted art more accessible to a much wider audience.
But then, of course, the big question that likely comes to your mind is, what about the human artists? Is this the beginning of a shift where traditional sculptors might find themselves replaced by machines? Are we, looking at a future where robots are churning out a significant portion of the sculpted artwork we see?
That's a very legitimate concern for you to have, and it's a discussion that's happening quite actively within the art community. There's definitely a fear, especially among artists working in more commercial areas, that robots could potentially take over certain types of production. However, there's also a strong counter-argument, one that really emphasizes the unique and, well, irreplaceable nature of human creativity and emotional depth. Art, at your core, often communicates something profound about the human experience, right? And it's difficult to imagine a machine truly replicating that level of intentionality and emotional resonance that connects with you.
That makes a lot of sense when you put it that way. A robot can certainly execute a design flawlessly, but can it truly imbue that piece with feeling? Can it possess a vision, an artistic intent in the same way a human artist does? And what's also fascinating to consider for you are the completely new artistic possibilities that this technology could unlock. We're talking about hyper-detailed or even physically impossible designs becoming a tangible reality.
Exactly. Think about designs that might defy the constraints of gravity or require a level of microscopic precision that no human hand could ever consistently achieve. Robots could open up entirely new avenues for artistic expression, pushing the very boundaries of what's physically possible in sculpture. And perhaps even more interestingly for you, there's the potential for a true collaboration between artists and AI.
Collaboration.
Imagine an artist using sophisticated digital tools to create a highly complex design, and then entrusting a robot with the intricate and physically demanding task of bringing that vision to life. In this scenario, the robot becomes an incredibly advanced tool, extending the artist's creative capabilities rather than simply replacing them.
So it's not necessarily a competition, but potentially a powerful partnership that offers a more optimistic perspective for you to consider. But this also leads us to some really fundamental questions, doesn't it? Can we even truly call something created entirely by a robot art in the same way we currently understand it? These are the kinds of ethical and philosophical considerations that start to surface.
This is where the discussion becomes really thought-provoking for you. The core of the debate often comes down to the distinction between flawless execution and genuine original creativity. A robot can meticulously follow instructions and produce something visually stunning, but does it actually possess artistic intent? Can it generate an original idea? Does it understand the concepts it's embodying in the same way a human artist does, with all their lived experiences and emotions? These are questions that really challenge our fundamental definitions of art and the very nature of creativity itself for you.
And then there's the really complex issue of authorship for you to grapple with.
Mhm.
If a robot sculpts a piece, who rightfully gets the credit? Is it the programmer who wrote the underlying code? Is it the user who input the specific digital design? Or, as some might even suggest, could the machine itself, in some novel way, be considered the author? Legally and philosophically, we're venturing into completely uncharted territory here.
It's an entirely new situation with no easy answers for you. Our existing legal frameworks for copyright and ownership are largely built around the concept of human creators. How do we even begin to adapt those frameworks to properly account for art that is, in essence, generated by artificial intelligence? It raises profound questions about intellectual property and the very definition of what constitutes creative work in this new context for you.
And looking ahead, thinking about the future landscape for you, there's the possibility that the world of sculpture might become somewhat divided. We could see robots dominating the mass production of decorative or architectural elements, things that really benefit from absolute precision and consistent repeatability. But what implications does that have for unique, handcrafted pieces created by human artists?
What's fascinating to consider for you is the possibility that human-made sculptures could actually see an increase in their cultural and monetary value precisely because they are unique and bear the unmistakable mark of human skill and intention. In a world potentially filled with art produced by robots, the inherent imperfections and the tangible humanity found in a hand-sculpted piece might become even more highly prized. It's almost a potential return to a deeper appreciation for the artisanal and the uniquely human touch for you.
So, to bring all these fascinating threads together for you, it seems clear that Monumental Labs has introduced a significant technological development that's creating some major waves in the art world. But it doesn't necessarily signal the end of human artists. Instead, what we seem to be looking at is a future where the relationship between human creativity and machine precision is undergoing a fundamental evolution.
Precisely. For you, the key takeaway isn't about replacement as much as it is about profound transformation. The continued evolution of AI and robotics is undeniable, and the art world, like many other fields, will inevitably need to adapt and evolve alongside these advancements. It's about finding a new equilibrium, a balance between embracing the incredible potential of these new technologies and, at the same time, preserving the enduring value of human skill, creativity, and the unique emotional expression that artists bring to their work. The future of sculpture, it seems, will likely be a collaborative one, shaped by both the boundless ingenuity of the human mind and the flawless execution capabilities of the machine.
So, as we conclude this deep dive with you, I keep coming back to that thought-provoking question. Would you actually consider acquiring a sculpture that was created by a robot? It really makes you think deeply about what we truly value in art, doesn't it? Is it solely about the aesthetic outcome, the final visual piece, or is there something much more profound about the human connection, the artist's personal journey, that ultimately imbues a work of art with its deepest meaning for you? This feels like just the very beginning of a much larger and incredibly important conversation about the ever-evolving intersection of art, technology, and human creativity, and I'm genuinely excited to see where it all leads.